All right, for my third pick and the fifth overall of the Week 6 Sunday six pack presented by FanDuel, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles -6 at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Make sure you shop around here if you can. By the time we're recording this, there might be some 5.5s out there, but FanDuel is our sponsor, and we obviously use their lines here. Look, last week I got to give credit to the Cowboys defense. They beat me straight up. I also had the Rams live. They beat me straight up on that. Their defense got a touchdown, I think, on the third play of the game, and they never looked back. Cooper Rush didn't have to do anything. And if that happens again, Dallas could win this game. Dallas could cover. But I'll bet against Philly turning the ball over and Dallas getting a defensive touchdown and Cooper Rush having to actually do something here to win the game. Cowboys 25th in EPA per play on offense this year. Cooper Rush has 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has 3 big-time throws on the year. 5 turnover-worthy plays, 3 other turnover-worthy plays that were overturned because of penalty. If you look at the Cowboys' results this year on offense, they are 25th in yards per drive. 25th. Like, they're scoring during their win streak. They're averaging 22 points per game. They haven't eclipsed 25 points in any of their wins this year. And they beat Washington, the Giants, this Bengals team that we just talked about as a disaster, the Rams, who are obviously a disaster. And what do all those teams have in common? And this is one of the mistakes that I had last week. Washington, Giants, Cincy, Rams, offensive line problems. They're all ranked 26th or worse in adjusted sack rate. They're all also bottom 10 in line yards. Just 4 terrible offensive lines. And Dallas's defensive line is basically winning them games. Well, now you go from playing 4 awful offensive lines to the best in the NFL. Eagles offensive line, which is the number 1 pass protection unit by some measures, can contain this Dallas pass rush. I know there's some injuries. There's some injuries on both sides, but I think everyone should be good to go. Mayada is probably the biggest question, but I think they just held him out as a precautionary measure last week. And if you look, Dickerson, Kelsey, Samoa, and Johnson haven't allowed a sack this year. Kelsey and Dickerson are ranked 2nd and 3rd in pressure rate allowed of all qualified linemen. This offensive line is elite. What is that going to allow the Eagles to do? Get the run game going, which you can do against Dallas, and more importantly, just contain the Cowboys' pressure, which no one that they've played has really been able to do. Bucks even were getting pressured with their offensive line issues, even when in the Cowboys lost. But this is the biggest test that the Dallas defensive line will face. It's strength on strength. Eagles can neutralize Dallas's strength. And then it comes down to, okay, which quarterback do you trust more? And I'll take Jalen Hurts in this offense over Cooper Rush and that offense any day of the week. It's also just an awful spot for Dallas. They were in New York, short week back home to Dallas, out to the West Coast to play the Rams, and back across the country to play Philly. So it's not the best travel for this team. And they've been getting quite fortunate. Like I said, the past couple of weeks, they deserved that win and cover last week. But, you get a defensive touchdown early. They ended up with 230 yards of offense. Cooper Rush threw for what, 80 passing yards, 80 net passing yards in the game. He didn't have to do anything. I will make him. I'm very confident that he will have to do something to win this game against maybe the best team in the NFC. So Kyle Allen started 5-0 straight up and against the spread. Cooper Rush has as well. Let's go to war one more time, Coop.
I don't understand this vendetta you have against Coop. Usually you're trying to back these backup quarterbacks and taking the points. You just got this vendetta against Coop, man. I get it, but six is a lot of points.
I think he's significantly worse than Dak. A 4 or 5 points worse than Dak. Yeah. And you're telling me that the Eagles, I think the Eagles are about a field goal better than the Cowboys at full strength for both teams. And now this line's assuming that, basically these teams are, Dak, there's not much of a difference between Dak and Cooper Rush, which a lot of people believe, which I am adamantly saying no, Cooper Rush they're not winning for anything that Cooper Rush is doing. There's people are like, he doesn't turn it over. He's tried to turn it over. He's been 4 drop picks, or 2 drop picks, 2 picks that were taken away because of penalty. And then last week they just got a lead and they said, Coop, chill, do not lose this game. So I don't think that and look, they beat junk and they played junk offensive lines, and the Eagles are going to get pressure, and Cooper Rush is going to have to deal with that here, and a raucous environment in a game script where he's going to actually have to make throws. And I think this is going up against the best team in the NFC. I think this is Eagles by a touchdown plus, but I've certainly been wrong with Cooper before.
Here we go, man. I mean, yeah, like I get it. It makes sense from the standpoint of, where if you have the Eagles rated better than the Cowboys, and now, there's a significant downgrade from Dak to Cooper, which there is. But it still makes me nervous, laying 6. Just Cowboys defense, just game wrecking teams. I mean, this will be the best offensive line they face by far, though. So if they can do things in this game, then that's how it's gonna. I mean, I can't believe that we're sitting here week 6. You have the Giants 4-1, the Cooper Rush Cowboys right there, and the Eagles. Like this, the NFC East is suddenly like one of the best divisions in football, best division in football, really.